We're on.
Excellent.
Hi, guys.
Welcome.
Fantastic. Yes, I mean, something happened. It's like a delay. Instead of doing all together.
I am so excited. Eric Malt is going to be our guest today. Eric's going to share his experience using X39, LifeWave X39 patches.
Fantastic. So good to
I'm so happy to see you guys.
Yes. So thank you very much, Eric, for coming along. And obviously we have the amazing Dr. Hannah Denny with us, and Keith Weedman as well as obviously Eric and myself, James Kennedy. Before we get to you, Eric, we just want to do some quick introductions for some of us that's watching us for the first time. And who are the heck are these crazy people? And what are they doing on screen, right? So, ladies first, obviously. So,
I can't see. Look, I'm looking around. I can't see any crazy people, James.
You're not obviously moving enough around, Dr. Hannah Denny, if you can't see any crazy people, right? You're not taking enough of the medicine, obviously.
Well, the point is, I'm not on any medicines. I stopped taking all the medicines.
There we go. Yes, lovely. Yes. So, Dr. Hannah, before we speak to Eric and interview him and talk about his amazing story, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, please?
I'm not a medical doctor. Let's start from this. So there are no surprises over there. However, I'm very passionate. In my second life, I'm very passionate about health. I'm very passionate about well-being. I'm extremely passionate of helping people to find the solution to the problem. We all have problems. But if we could share what we know, if we could spread that great message, we all can help each other. And we already experienced this earlier today when the positivity just spread across the ocean because we are in different parts of the world and it connected us. So here I'm wearing a hat of be healthy, live long, live well. And we don't want to talk about my other life, do we? Or we don't. No. Today, let's focus on health, because without health, we all been there. Without health, life it's not as good as it could be. So I vote for health and well-being today.
Love it.
I agree.
Love it. Yes, definitely. Thank you so much for that amazing. Keith, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, please?
Well, I want to start by acknowledging James Tomasi Kennedy and Hannah Denny, because James introduced me to Hannah, and I'm healing from Parkinson's disease. Not just any kind of Parkinson's disease, but I had this special kind. I called it the twofer. Actually, James called it a twofer because I had Alzheimer's symptoms combined with Parkinson's symptoms. And that's twofer nobody wants.
Yes, indeed.
Nobody wants. But I'm going hiking next week in Wyoming with Eric Malt and a bunch of fraternity brothers. I'm super excited. I'm flying on Monday, and we start hiking on Monday. I'm super excited.
We are expecting to hear from you live, from both of you, live and pictures and all the rest, because it will be epic. I can feel it.
Well, I'm definitely taking pictures, no doubt.
Definitely. Sounds great.
But LifeWave X39 patches help me heal, start healing. and other LifeWave patches helped me finish healing. Thanks to Hannah.
Thanks to you, my dear Keith, because you made that decision that you want to change your life. Life with Parkinson or life with any disease, it's our choice. And I'm grateful to you that you made that choice, Keith. So together, we are in it together.
Most people don't realize they have a choice. Thanks to you, I know I've got a choice. Thank you.
Love that. Thank you. Thank you so much for that introduction, Keith. And just a little bit about me. My name is James Kennedy. I'm an executive career coach, but at the same time, like all these wonderful people in the room with me today, I want to make sure I'm aging gracefully. I'm obviously the baby in the family, obviously, what we got here, but I want to make sure that I age well. And it's, very much prevention rather than the cure at the end, and enjoy as much of the time that I have left, right? And so that's why I'm part of this group, and I'm loving the stories that Hannah's told and Keith told in the past. And today we speak to the man of the hour. We speak to Eric, and we speak a bit about his challenge and his stories and the things that he's have to overcome to get here today. So Eric, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, please?
Sure. Firstly, as you've heard, I'm friends with Keith. I met him at university at Purdue, and that was over 4 decades ago. And I had actually lost contact with Keith for a long time. And within the last couple of years, we had reestablished contact to the point where we were talking via Zoom every couple of weeks.
Wow.
And Keith learned about me during the last couple of years that I had to deal with a disease, cancer. And for me, it came on completely suddenly, unexpectedly, because I'm an active person. I play a lot of tennis, and I've been doing so during my retirement here in the Sunshine State. You might notice a tan, and that's because it's not because of anything bad. It's simply from vitamin D. And so I shared with Keith that one day I learned that I had appendix cancer, which is pretty rare. It's my version of the appendix cancer, which had a bit of an aggressive tumor. There are about 100 people a year in the US that get diagnosed with it, out of 2 million a year that get diagnosed for cancer. So it's pretty rare. And what made it rare for me is that appendix cancer normally happens when you've got cancer all through your body. And in my case, it started in the appendix. And so I got treatment. I got 6 months of chemotherapy that was kind of intensive, every 2 weeks for 6 months. And that was last year. Wow. And if you look at me and listen to me right now, you might be surprised that I went through chemo last year. And part of it was having a positive attitude. And, I share that with Keith a little bit because he's a very positive person.
Yes, he is.
And he introduced me to some things that he has worked on to build up in training for other people, for leaders, about positive actions. And essentially, I took that on because I resonate with it. And eventually, when I finished chemo, started playing tennis again, I had some side effects. The particular side effect that's I found a little unusual is that my fingertips are numb. They have neuropathy. and I was given a prescription for it. It occurred during chemo, so it was absolutely related to the treatment, and I never had it before, and it stuck with me after chemo. Earlier this year, Keith shared with me that he was actually using X39 from LifeWave as a method of contributing to his healing process. And me at first, I was a little bit skeptical. Because
a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit.
I love that. So what happened, Eric?
Well,
what
actually,
made you change your mind?
Well, Keith took a benevolent action. He actually cut through the skepticism and sent me an order of patches. He asked me if I would be willing to try it, and he sent it to me. And
what a friend! What a friend!
That was an incredible benevolent action, and I believe that was sometime during March, because on April 11th I actually placed an order for myself after using it for a month, and I have my own login. Hello, Alex.
Hello, everyone. Nice to meet you.
Well, you don't know me, but I'm Eric, and I was just kind of rambling a little, so we should hear a little about you.
That's right. We'll come back to Alex. Just carry on with the story. I was in there. I was linked.
Oh, we're in the story. Yes, we need to finish. We'll definitely come back to Alex for sure.
I started to take X39, and I was continuing to be active because I think that playing tennis has been part of my healing from cancer as well. But I was trying to see whether X39 could do anything for the neuropathy in my fingertips. I was able, since last fall when I started to play tennis again, I was able to grip a racket without any difficulty. It was just strange having the numbness feeling. And I, having taken X39 now throughout the summer, continuing to play, I noticed a couple of things. One thing that didn't have anything to do with neuropathy is that I seem to be growing a lot of chest hair.
Wow.
How do we know? How do we know that your chest?
You know from here. Why it's unusual is that
fantastic.
I had chest hair before, but I just didn't have as much. And the chest hair that's growing is, I have some gray, but I have some dark chest hair too.
Wow.
And it's just,
I can see that you are not bothered about it, or even perhaps you're happy that what does it mean to have your hair regrown, Eric? As a fan of your...
Well, it meant that something unexpected happened, and that it says that things are still growing within me, and it gave me an opportunity to feel positive that perhaps the neuropathy would go away. And what was happening was that the neuropathy was improving over the last couple of months. And one day, I am a retiree, so when I play tennis, I play about 2.5 hours each time. Wow. And I play about 4 times a week.
How can you do this? I mean, that's incredible.
Well, I love to play, and I have a really good group of friends that I play with, and I'm competitive too. But since I'm a little bit older, sometimes in the afternoon, I only play in the mornings. Typically, in the afternoon, sometimes I take a nap, and one day I just took a nap like this, and my arm went to sleep completely. And when I woke up and I shook it off, I had sensations all the way to my fingertips.
Wow.
And so that tells me that I'm capable of getting rid of the neuropathy completely. It may take time, and I cannot say exactly what is making this happen, but I know that I'm active. I'm taking X39, and it seems to be a good thing for me. So
yes,
that.
If I may ask, Eric, because this is, I mean, looking at from the physical aspects, it's phenomenal that you can play tennis even in the morning, 2.5 hours. Come on. I wish I could do this. Maybe one day you'll teach me. But what I would love to know is when we go through cancer or when we go through any disease, you know, our emotional side is changing as well. So have you noticed any changes about that before and after? Because I didn't know you then. I can see you as this person that always has this phenomenal, gigantic grin on his face.
Well, when it came to being sick, it came on very suddenly. Because it was in my appendix, I basically had an appendicitis attack one day when I was driving home from playing tennis.
Goodness. Wow.
And I had an appendectomy a few hours later. Learned that there was a and it occurred because the tumor was starting to penetrate the appendix wall a little bit. And I didn't know I had cancer at that time because you heal in a couple of weeks' time and you start your normal activity again. But I got a call from the surgeon to come and see him, and he told me that I needed to have about a third of my colon and 14 lymph nodes removed. And this all, the appendectomy happened in November, and the surgery happened in December.
Yeah.
And that the healing from that surgery was a little bit longer than the appendectomy, but not much longer. And then I was to start chemo in January, but I caught COVID. So I started chemo in February. The COVID I got was pretty mild.
Yeah.
That's just to give you a timeline.
Yeah.
And as I said earlier, the treatment was meant to be preventative as chemo because they'd only found the one tumor, and but it was an aggressive one. So they were trying to make sure that I'd be okay. When I went through from February to July last year, I tried to follow their instructions about drinking a lot, eating well so that you can keep your strength up.
Yeah.
And I observed the people around me, and I was one of the lucky ones because I was able to do that. I was able to eat and drink while I was having chemo because some people were too poorly off to be able to do it. I made some friends in there, tried to pick up the spirits of some of the people around me who were not feeling so well.
Yeah.
Because I was able to walk out after every session and just get ready for the next one. I experienced tremendous fatigue as the sessions went on because I did a total of 12 rounds of chemo, and each round lasted 3 days. You do the infusion, then you get a take-home bag for a couple of days. So it was a lot of chemo in a 6-month period.
Wow.
I just figured, well, my body needed to sleep, so I slept a lot, and then I tried
rest. All you can do is rest.
Yeah. Try to walk and drink a lot of water. I drank so much water, I probably drained some of the reservoir near the town that I live in. But positivity is what helps a lot. My friends that saw me said that they couldn't believe that I was feeling positive going through that stuff.
Love it. Mindset. It's all about mindset.
You have to have a goal in front of you.
Yeah.
And I've shared that goal with Keith, and I'll just mention to you that I told the doctors and the nurses that my goal was to see my grandchildren graduate from university and get married, and they're 10 and 11 years old right now. So you just give yourself a long-term goal, and that means you just live your life, because your goal is in the future. It's distant. So for you to get there, you have to live your life, and if you're living it, you might as well enjoy it. So I believe in enjoying myself. I'm retired too, so that makes it easier.
So Eric, I have a question in terms of what you just said there, because there's a couple of things that I just wanted to pick out that I took mental note of. First thing is, obviously you said being positive throughout this traumatic experience that you had to go through, but also at the same time is having a goal in mind that you wanted in the future, right? So I just want to acknowledge that would have had a huge part in your healing as well. Now, congratulations, as you said, we talked before, you rang the bell and you beat cancer, right? And then you've come out all of that, and you come out the other side, and then you have to start you want to do your favorite pastime, which is playing tennis. And in terms of playing tennis, you find out that there's some side effects, right, affecting your feelings and your fingers. That's impacting it. So tell me, how were you feeling at that moment where you've beat cancer? Let's go back to normal. But actually, at that moment, it wasn't normal. You couldn't do the things that you love doing, which is playing tennis and spending time with your friends. How did that feel after beating cancer and getting to that point?
Well, I left out one piece. When you get infusions, the surgeon inserted a port into my chest area. And I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's kind of like a mark there from where it was. After my treatments, I asked if the port could come out, and the oncologist said that he'd be happy if it could stay in for a couple of years. And I asked if my cancer returned, could the port be put back in? And he said yes. So I asked for the port to come out as soon as possible, which in my case ended up being the end of September last year.
Right.
It takes a little bit of time. Pardon me, the end of August last year.
Okay.
And it took until the end of September for it to heal properly, because although I've been very lucky in other things, it just seemed like the port leaving me took a little bit longer than the norm. But once that finished, I started to play tennis in October. And even though I had neuropathy, and I still have neuropathy right now, but it's what I have at this moment is very mild. It's as if you touch your fingers and they just feel a little funny, but you can feel your finger completely. If I press, you can feel completely.
It's the little things we take for granted, right? That we do every day and we don't even think about it. When you don't have it, it's like, what's going on?
So I felt normal when the day after the port was removed, and even though I had neuropathy, I was told it could take a year to go away. It could be permanent and never go away.
Oh my goodness!
I didn't dwell on it because it didn't affect my ability to do things. It was just there. It was just a reminder that I went through some stuff, more than being a hindrance of any kind. There are lots of other side effects you could leave with, and so I just felt really lucky. So when you ask me about my feeling, I marked it. I marked it from the point where I could start to be active again. I wasn't really active when I slept a lot. I tried to walk, and walking was the extent of my activity. When I started to play tennis, that was being more normal.
Right,
Eric, you have a passion for your children, your grandchildren. Tell us about your passion for your grandchildren.
Well, sure. I'm very lucky that my grandson lives a few miles away. My granddaughter lives about 1,000 miles away, so it's a little bit different. But I've been lucky enough to see my grandson growing up from the age of about 2 years old. And we have a pretty strong bond. He actually comes over and visits one day a week and stays overnight. And he's been doing that for several years. And essentially, in context of seeing him grow, I've participated in trying to help him to be there for him and to provide him some guidance at times. He lives with his parents, and it's a loving family, and it's just nice that I get to be a part of it and to share
and play video games with him. Right? Is that the activity that you both are sharing?
Well, that is true. He's pretty big into video games. I have played tennis with him. It's been a little while. He goes from sport to sport, and right now it's basketball. But he will be actually he turned 10 years old today, and so. Oh, I hear a puppy.
That's my dog in the background.
Fantastic.
I hope that I've gone off into a couple of tangents, but I hope that I've been able to share with you, a little bit about my background and, a little bit of what I went through in the last couple of years.
But most importantly, Eric, you shared with us that when we make those decisions that we want to change our lives, we have friends like Keith, who was there for you, who suggested something could work. You just jumped on the wagon. You wanted to try, you didn't want to lose the opportunity to be able to play tennis, feel better, look better, have your hair regrown, but spending time with your loved ones, I think we don't always take that into account.
And see your grandchildren grow up to adults and get married.
Yeah.
And have children.
That's epic.
Yeah. Yeah. My goal is university and getting married. The children will come once that goal is achieved. Then I'll start, pestering them for grandchildren.
Are you going to the university and then you get married? Is that your plan? These are your plans, Eric?
Well, no, I've been to I've been to university and I have a master's, so I don't have a PhD. So I don't know how much university is left in me right now.
You have great knowledge and experience.
But when I said grandchildren, I should have said great grandchildren, because I don't feel I don't feel quite old enough for great grandchildren yet.
No, not yet. But I want to say as well, because some of the things that you said there, Eric, was all about being lucky. You said lucky quite a lot throughout your story, and I want to say, from my observations, it's the power of positive thinking that you have, the gratitude you have for what you have as well. Despite all the challenges that are coming out, and more challenges after the cancer. Right? You always looked at the good parts of everything and the positive parts of everything. And you say you are lucky. You're making your luck because you see the good in everything and you're being positive for everything as well. And when you're telling your story, for me, it's let me write down these notes, write me down this, and then make sure I'm doing the same as well.
Well,
so
I
thank you for that gift.
For that. I appreciate you. There is an element to that, because when you feel joy, it gives you energy. And I believe in something that Keith has been talking to me about, that we're energy beings. And from that perspective, I personally prefer not to waste my energy on negative things. But rather devote energy to positive things. I just prefer that. And when Keith was talking to me about my grandson, I like to share with him and to try and empower him to do things like little things, like when he was younger and we're doing Legos, to try and guide him to actually looking at the instructions, so that it would help him to build, and he could build faster than when he simply tried to jump to the answer, but it was a little bit too complicated to get the full result. Well, little things like that are learned behaviors, but you can do them in different ways. You could criticize somebody and try and force them to do something, or you could encourage them and have them come to their own conclusion. That's what Keith did for me for X39. He encouraged me by sending it to me and emphasizing, give it a shot, see how it is. Yeah. So I
give it a shot and see what happens. And as Eric was saying,
don't look back. Just look.
Exactly. And Eric was saying, when he tried these out from the benevolent action that Keith said, he wasn't very skeptical at all. Not at all. He was just saying,
only the accordion.
So, Eric, I want to say thank you so much for sharing your story. Thank you so much for coming here today, to help give hope and inspire others that might have gone through cancer, they're in the recovery stage, that and to show them what's potentially possible as well. Okay, and thank you for that. So, for as well as everybody here, we also have Alex on the call with us. So, Alex, thank you so much. I know you're very, very busy. I know you got lots of going on, and just for the purpose of everyone and watching this, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, please?
Okay. First of all, thank you for invitation. Thank you, Hannah, for invitation. I don't know what you're doing actually on this group.
We're just having a chat. We're having a chat, and we're celebrating Eric's, transformation from where he was before, and he's been using X39. And we're just telling his story. And before he started his story, Hannah talked a little bit about herself. Keith talked a little bit about himself, and so I talked a bit. So it was more of who is this guy? If anyone else is watching, and who's Alex, and what's Alex all about?
Okay. And this is the hardest part because I'm a little bit I'm not the kind of guy who is self-advertising, so that's my.
We're just talking and chatting. So you tell us what you want to tell us.
So it's better if Hannah gives some info about me, what I'm doing actually.
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
But what I just some comments about what Eric said, and absolutely I agree with you, James, and with you, Eric, that this actually has nothing to do with luck. It actually is your very strong internal power to address the things the positive way, to address things. That this is actually what you just said is. It's part of the psychological studies, because what psychological says today, what all psychologists say today, that it's not the question of power, the power of positive thinking, because there is a glitch in this powerful thinking, that nobody actually, not many people understand what is this powerful, what is really the powerful of the positive thinking. But the choice, I mean, that you choose to pick the reality you want it to be. So this is a cool, I mean, the cool thing that your personality, that your soul allows you, let's call it, allows you to be like this, because it's a powerful thing. So I think this is something that heals. And the other thing I would like to point, I'm a little bit, because the LifeWave is a powerful technology. You mentioned about the X39. I'm a big fan of LifeWave. I'm in LifeWave for about like this year. It will be my 8 years. 8 years in LifeWave, I guess. And the problem, this is the fantastic stories, and many people have fantastic stories. I mean, the question of the beating cancer, or I don't like the word beating, but let's call it understand the different way they could live, they could change their lives, etc., etc. And what we cannot actually express widely is that this technology helped them to feel better. I mean, it's not the question of feel better, but help them to some. I mean, well, I call it like it shouldn't be called like they like the LifeWave helped them to beat cancer. Oh, okay, that's what I wanted to express. It's not allowed to say, but there is many stories and many different ideas about this topic. But considering the laws and considering what company allows us to say, we cannot say that kind of things. I have I met many people really that this technology helped them to feel much better in question of even the question of chemotherapy. So this is something really powerful. So Hannah,
absolutely.
Who am I?
Over to me. You are an incredible person that I'm so privileged to have met and known. You are a clinical psychologist with years and years and years of experience helping people in this area. But your interests are so widely spread. That is fascinating, because apart from clinical psychology, you practice traditional Chinese medicine.
Yeah. Yes, it is. This is what it started from. I started from the Chinese medicine.
You are very much in favor of healthy living.
Yep.
Taking care of your soul, body, mind.
Yeah.
You practice. Oh, Keith, I need your help. What's the name of that dance?
EFT, Qigong.
Tai Chi and Qigong. Yeah, Tai Chi and Qigong.
Tai Chi and Qigong. And of course, Alex is phenomenal. Emotional freedom techniques.
Yeah.
Practitioner or therapist? I'm not sure.
Therapist, trainer, because I run some
trainer as well.
Workshops. Yeah, so I do a lot of workshop about this. So everything that is related with health and self-development.
I haven't finished my list.
Sorry. Okay. Okay.
And Alex was the person who introduced me to Lifeway.
Okay.
So
I'm so thankful.
Yes.
I'm so happy.
It's a ripple effect or a domino effect. And
Yes,
I think that's the power within Lifeway, because we experience the product ourselves, or someone introduces us to the product because they've experienced it. We use it, we see the benefits, we experience the benefits, and we'll pass it to other people who do the same. And I love this actually about Lifeway, because it's through our own use of
experience.
the product. Experience. We can tell real stories.
Yeah. Yes.
And that
I'd like to add, Alex is going to be our next guest on this podcast. Is that true, Alex?
Is that true, Alex?
I don't know. If you say so.
Is that true? So. We'd be honored if you would like to come and tell us more about your experiences. You have great knowledge. You've seen and experienced so many things.
If you have some ideas about what should we target about on this meeting, then I'm open to your suggestions, because there is such a huge amount of information or experiences I have about this product, combined with people, combined with even with the founder of this company, because I know David Schmidt quite well. I met him maybe not often, not through the, we have like I haven't met him in last 2 years, but earlier we spent a lot of time on different kind of meetings, because we had a very interesting projects we did together. So this is probably one of those biggest reasons I'm still in this company, because I know the guy, and I know who he actually is. I know his ups and downs, because this is something cannot be hid. So I know him quite well, and he's such an amazing person. This is like he's a scientist, actually, an entrepreneur. So truly speaking, I never met someone with such a open-minded, such that combined open-minded with standing on the ground,
Firmly on the ground.
on the ground.
Grounded, yes,
What he could do many years ago, he could just say, okay, I'm selling those patches through the pharmacy, and probably the product would end with somewhere on the shelves, as you know, there is, if you don't have such a huge multi-million budget for the advertisement, so you probably lost in those but he decided how many, he just asked himself how many millionaires or how many people could help themselves joining the company and helping share this message and try to apply this technology in different areas in our lives, because as you may probably found that there are patches who can work on the psychological areas. Some can work more on the biology, on those physical issues that we have, some psychological issues. There are something that some guys say that they can work with the spiritual issues as well.
That's interesting.
That's interesting, yeah.
Oh, come on. Give us a little taster. Give us a little taster of that.
Just pick the easiest choice is to pick Silent Night, which works with this area in the brain that creates melatonin, which is called in your language, because I'm Polish, so I'm not actually familiar.
Melatonin.
No, what is the area in your brain that produces melatonin? This magical that you know this.
About Shinka.
Yeah.
Okay. Well. Oh wow. Oh. Yes.
You don't know it.
We have the name. We just need to.
Yeah. I didn't know. Actually, I didn't. I forgot.
Ask Google, guys.
Ask Google.
What is the name? Cerebral cortex or?
No. It's a tiny little part that is even on those Egyptian on Egyptian statues and on those hieroglyphs. They have those information that this is the most important thing. Pineal gland. Oh, yeah. So
goodness me. How could I have forgotten?
So there are special ways to use Silent Night to release the power that is connecting us with those spiritual areas.
Interesting.
The regenerating the pineal gland, so this could produce not only melatonin but also connect us with those very, very, very let's call it high energies of high vibrating energies. So we did some experiments in a life using Silent Night daily, not for night, just for sleep, but daily. So
wow,
this is a nice trip. You may try it. You can try it in your life. Try it. The first 2-3 days, you will feel like a dream, like a zombie, like a dreaming, like a walking dead. So because it's like you would like to sleep, but you cannot sleep. You will see the reality, but you think it's a dreaming part of your, I don't know. So after just like 3-4 days, you will be surprised that it comes to normal.
I'm going to do this.
You can try it and share the experience. If you experience something we experience as well, because after like 3, 4, 5 maybe days, the situation goes normal, but it's not normal in question of that you are more, let's call it sensitive for information that comes to you. You see the world like full of meaning. You see the world like it's interesting stuff. And just to let you know that melatonin is one of the best antioxidants you can find in nature. So Eric in question of all those, Eric and Kate in question of all those really serious issues, especially cancer, etc. And melatonin can, there are even studies that melatonin can be very helpful of not only beating cancer, but also preventing from not having any kind of issues or reissue again. So so it may not happen again. But like I said, a couple of days can be a little weird. Then you may feel like very, very well connected with what I can call like the being of itself.
Yeah.
So it's very try it, test it for 1 month, and just give me some feedback if you would like to try it. So just to give you, and this is what LifeWave have huge amount of possibilities. How can this technology improve our life? It cannot, of course, replace the self working methodology, let's call it. Like there are some psychological issues. Okay, we can improve, but we have to grow, and we have to
tapping and LifeWave. Combination.
Yeah, because it works on the same on the meridian. So once we do the tapping, and once we patch the LifeWave patches, once we patched ourselves, we work on the same meridian system, or let's call it, we can even call it nerve system, because right now the study is showing that we are just using the nerve system that is connected to our brain, and we give some very specific instructions to the brain. So it's like, so it's very, very helpful in our regular life, so we can improve our life very, 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 very much. Actually, truly speaking, this can be a little bit scary for someone who is not familiar with, that so many things, like Eric said, he could choose. So he chose the way he thought about things. So he chose, but like 90% of the people see themselves as they don't have a choice. They don't have a choice. They are poor, they are ill, they are suffering, and so they see themselves as the victims, and so they cannot move forward. So because they don't have tools, and they are scared that there are some tools, but they even scared to try. So that's what Hannah said, that this is our job to spread. To put a drop and ripples, so to share, even if somebody is not, let's call him not nice, because it's a bullshit, it's a bullshit. It cannot work like this. So I heard it so many times, so I don't even care that because I understand that people, that there is a lot of bullshit in the internet right now. There's a lot of bullshit in our lives, and people don't trust, because we have huge crisis right now, the authority crisis. So people stop believing politicians, stop believing doctors, stop believing, because we have a huge crisis right now. This is just like a reflection of a mental crisis, let's call it, because we don't believe. So the authority just dropped a couple of stairs down, and we have to. But I think from the spiritual point of view or self-development point of view, it's good, because we have to trust ourselves. We have to learn how to trust ourselves. The only thing. Or the only way to beat the cancer is to trust, like Eric said, is trust yourself. So this is also, Kate has similar conditions. So Kate, you have to trust yourself.
Keith.
So you have to trust yourself. This is the only way you can do this. So there is many topics. Choose what you are interested, and maybe I can find something in my library
Yeah.
so I can share with you.
I would add.
I don't know.
Bring,
Yeah, sorry.
let's bring it back to start.
Yeah.
When you're skeptical,
Yeah.
you're a clinical psychologist.
Yep.
You didn't just buy into LifeWave. You're skeptical, and
Yep.
I think that a great place
to start for the topic, as to say, yeah, we're just carrying on from what Keith's saying is, how does a clinical psychologist
Mm-hmm.
decide to go and try out these patches? And so that is a topic we can explore for your chat. And because obviously, from speaking to you and understanding about you, I would have said he would have done his research. He would have looked around. You looked at a lot of studies, and you've done your own work as well to try some of these things before you started to promote it to other people, right?
Yeah.
Because like I said, it's not just the product; it's your reputation on the line as well.
Yes,
When
it
you
is.
have to put something out like this, right, to the people around you. And as you said, there's a lot of skepticism there. But I think from what Keith's saying, that's an interesting discussion and a journey when you come back next time, guys, to learn more from Alex and why he decided to stay with the company for, we're coming up 8-9 years.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So I'm conscious of the time, and I just want to say, Alex, thank you very much for coming in and joining and to sharing a bit of your story. Eric, thank you so much for your journey as well and sharing and coming here and being brave enough to show us your chest hairs as well to tell them, baby chest hairs are coming all over again. Well done, you. Yeah. Keith, thank you much for joining us, and Hannah. First off, I say, Hannah, none of this called and none of this happening without you here. So thank you for bringing all of us together to make this happen. So for anyone watching this and wanting to learn a bit more about, what's this X839, this LifeWave, and anything else there,
Silent Night,
Silent Night, and all these, other amazing products, speak to the person that introduced you to this video. And if you're looking to age well and have it all and thrive, as Eric is in his retirement, as he keeps on reminding us, and having so much fun at it as well, okay? Come and find out what this community is doing, and we'll see you soon. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.